Welcome back, entrepreneur. We are in Module 1, and we're talking all about the most important parts of a business website. So we are actually going to be breaking down all those pages, all those tabs, all the links that you need on your website. And I want to give you a little pro tip here before we get started. If you are taking notes, now's the time to get your pen out. You're going to want to work on this one. And this is something I actually want you to do before you get into designing your website. And the pro tip is that if you build your content before you design your website, you're going to make your workflow so much easier because you don't have to continually stop and design things and make up content and figure out what words you want to say. So batch creating your content for your website before you start designing it is actually going to save you a lot of time in the long run. And because your mindset is already into building that content, it's going to make it a lot easier and a lot more cohesive. So pro tip to you guys, write these things down and then build at least some of your content so you've got stuff that you can just copy and paste in or just drag and drop in, and you can move on with your life and you don't have to keep stopping and going as you're building your website. So the very first thing we need to talk about is your homepage. And we are going to touch a little bit on this in Module 2 as we're talking about modern website layouts. But what you need to know is you're going to have a lot of content on your homepage. This is actually going to be the place where you put the bulk of your content. Now, you will have some build outs, you will have some extended content, and you will have some tabs, but most of what you are doing in your website is going to be on your homepage because we are going to be working with a modern website. We are not working with those old school template, lots of button to click websites because people don't like buttons anymore. We live in a mobile friendly society. We are real time, quick as possible information getters, and we want to be able to scroll and find things. We don't want to have to click around. We don't want to have to look around at a bunch of different things. And so it's really important for us to actually make sure that we have the bulk of our content and the most important content on our homepage, which means we're going to have a longer homepage. Your homepage acts as an introduction to your people. So the very first thing that they're going to see on your homepage is your header, of course, which we will talk about as we are designing our website in Module 4. And you want to make sure that you have all of your tabs there so that people can navigate through your website if they need to. But remember, most of it's on the homepage already. And so you are going to be introducing yourself and your business to them. The first thing that they should see is either a video or a photo. And you want to make sure you've got your logo there. And then on your homepage, you also want to make sure you have a picture of you because whatever your business is, you are the face of it. As long as you are a personal brand or you are a coach, a strategist, if you are selling candles, whatever you happen to be doing, you are the face of your business and you want to develop that trust factor. And we know that people trust people whose faces they can see. That's why when we build out quote pages on websites, we always try to attach not only the person's name who's giving the quote, but also a photo of them because it shows that it's a real person who has made this real quote. And so making sure that you are active and engaged on your website and you are a presence on your website is very, very important. You are going to be putting anything that is relevant about your business, anything that is helpful to them, any freebies that you're giving away, all this content is going to be on your homepage. So anything that you could possibly give out on your website, anything that could possibly represent who you are as a business or a brand goes on your homepage. But you are not doing the entire fleshed out version of this on your homepage. For example, I mentioned that we are going to be putting your bio photo on your homepage. We're also going to be putting your name and a little blurb about you and how you can actually help people who are coming to your website to work with your business. But you're not putting your entire biography there. We do not need a big, giant section on your homepage all about you. We just need a little highlight reel. And so you are going to be putting smaller sections that cover the basics, cover the most important things. And then if it is a longer section, like a biography, you're going to then link it to a read more tab, which will kick it over to your about page. So you are giving the most important, most relevant information that's going to help them make a decision as to whether they are hiring you for your services or buying your products. And then you are going to be able to allow them to see the fleshed out version of it if they should want to take the extra step to click a button and go to another page to read or learn more. So your homepage is an introduction to your clients so that they can get to know you, get to trust you, get to see how you can possibly help them. And then should they want to take it a step further, they can build it out by clicking on buttons and going to see things. So you're doing a highlight reel of you and your business on your homepage. Make sense? So right now, I want you to pause this video and I want you to start listing the important things you need on your website. We're going to talk about products. We're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about your business. But remember, as you're talking about you and your business, you have to keep it centered on them. Nobody cares about your kitty cat or where you live or your kids or your Starbucks. They want to know how you can help them. So keep your biography focused on you. We're going to talk about that a little more in a minute. And we want to make sure that we are building out your website so that it is very focused on how you, your services, or your products can make their lives better. Keep that in mind. So start making that list of things that will help to represent your business to your potential clients. What is going to hook them and lure them in to pay you for products or services? Write all these things down. We're going to come back to that in a minute, but we need to move on to our next page and potential section on your homepage, which is your contact page. And this is incredibly important because this is how people reach out to you. You are including your email address. You're including all of your social media links. And if you're a business who gives out your phone number, then this is also the place for that. And if you're a physical location, you're going to need your street address so people can find you. Also a great place to link Google Maps should you have a physical location and you want people to come to your brick and mortar store. Your contact page is going to be short and sweet. It should be a photo and it should be a really quick bullet point of all the ways that people can contact you and why they should be contacting you. You do not need a lot of information. You do not need a lot of words here. This is easy peasy because if people are coming to your contact page, it's because they want to reach out to you. So link up your social media, link up your Facebook bots, link up maps, link up whatever you need to get people to reach out and have a conversation with you on this page and then get out. Short and simple for your contact page. Now let's jump back into our conversation about our About page. Our About page is actually going to be what kind of introduces us on a personal level to our clients or our business to our clients on a little more of an in-depth level. So this is the behind the scenes story. But remember, we said a minute ago, this is not actually about you. It's really and truly not. And so many entrepreneurs think that they're going to give their personal biography. They're going to chat about what they like, the things that they do, their families, their pets, their Starbucks drinks. And that is not what people want to see. People don't actually care about us until we give them a reason to care about us. And so if people are coming to our About page, they want to learn a little bit more about how we can serve them. So your biography, your story about your business, all of that should be focused on them. So it's totally okay to talk about you and your personal life and your achievements, but you have to spin it in a way that helps them. So if you look at any of my biographies, and you guys know I'm an author, I'm a social media strategist, I do all sorts of things, so I have a bunch of different variations of my biography. But if you look at them, I don't talk about the fact that I have 3 dogs. I don't talk about the fact that I live in a particular area. I don't talk about my hobbies. I don't talk about the things that I do in my personal life. My biographies are spun so that I'm showing off how I am beneficial to them. So I talk about the conventions I speak at. I talk about the books that I write to entertain them. I will talk about the different news outlets and articles that I've been featured in. I'll talk about the different conventions and video live broadcasts that I have been a part of and the events that actually show how I'm serving people. It shows off enough about me to kind of give them a personal look at my life and who I am and what I do, but it's 100% centered around the fact that I am a fully trained and well-equipped person to teach them or to entertain them or to do this, that, or the other thing for them. So everything I say is geared toward them, and I'm not talking about my puppy dogs. I'm not talking about X, Y, and Z in my personal life that has no connection to them. And if I want people to know about my puppy dogs or about what I order when I go to a cafe, I am going to do that in my social media, in my captions, in my posts, because that is where I'm being friendly with people. That's where I'm having these conversations with people. It's not in my professional biography, and it's certainly not on my About page on my website, which is usually an expanded version of my 1 to 3 sentence biography that I give out when I'm doing articles with like CBS or NBC or all those fun places. And so my About page is an expanded version of that where I'm talking about some of the business related or things that I can spin for my business, things inside of my life. And your About page should contain a photo or a couple of photos of you and then this really good fleshed out story about how you can serve people. and how your backstory has lent itself to becoming that person that can serve them and can help them. Now, another really important page to have on your website is your checkout page, because most of you sell things, whether it is services, whether it is your products, whether it is something else. You need a checkout cart within your website. And I actually use my website to design my sales pages, and then I've got a program that I use for my specific checkout cart because it has this really great funnel system. So if my clients buy one of my courses, it's then going to suggest, well, hey, since you bought this, maybe you would also want to buy this. And based on whether they say yes or no, it again sends them through a funnel where they get a couple more options and a couple more sales, a couple more deals, and I make more money because my system is saying, oh, I see that you found our website course, you've just bought this, maybe you would also like this PDF for $20 that helps you with this thing similar to it. And you would say yes or no, and then based on the yes or no, I would give you a higher or lower priced item, and you could continue through a couple of different options and add things to your cart if you wanted it. And we're actually going to talk about this in a bonus episode for this module because this is such a great program. I love it, but I don't want to take time away from this. So if you are interested in the what I call the world's best checkout cart, because it has this funnel system and it is amazing. I've used it for years and years and years. Highly recommend it. You can check out the bonus video inside of this module. It's called SamCart and I love it. And I highly recommend that you use it. Otherwise, you're going to have to link up your own sales cart to this, whether it be Big Cartel or Etsy or something along those lines, Shopify. You're going to link it up to that within your website as well. So you want to make sure that you've got really great sales pages. You create a really great store page on your website, and then you've got a really great program to use as your actual shopping cart. And just because I like you guys so much, I'm actually going to toss in another bonus episode where we're talking about a program that I use when I am actually creating the majority of my sales pages and my opt-in pages, especially for things like my newsletter. It's called Lead Pages. It's drag and drop, very much like Elementor that we're going to be using inside of this course. But this is really cool because it actually links up to your newsletter. So you can automate it so that when people go through with a sale, it actually hooks it up to your newsletter and kicks that out so that you can get them on your newsletter and you can send bonus information that way. It's really a very cool structure. So check out both of those extra bonus videos inside of this module, and let's chat a little bit about some of these important links that you need on your website as well. Now, you want to make sure that you have all of your social media links on your website. Usually, you're going to want to put those up in your header and in your footer, but then you're also going to want to put them in several locations on your homepage so people can easily access you as they're scrolling through your website, and you want to make sure that they are also on your contact page. Likewise, you want to make sure you have multiple links to your newsletter, because we know our newsletter is the best way to reach out to people. The only way they can miss our newsletters is if they delete them intentionally, whereas with social media, it's so easy to miss posts. And so you want to make sure you offer your newsletter up in a minimum of 3 different places on your website, up at the top, somewhere in the middle, and somewhere down at the bottom. You can do this in your header and footer if you want, but you definitely want to make sure you get it top, middle, and bottom of your homepage, and then of course on your contact page as well. So stop what you're doing, write down your links, make sure you have your links on your list of things you want to get ready. You want to make sure that you have them ready to go so you can link them up. And I do recommend, this is a pro tip here, I recommend that you get the social media icons. So you want to make sure you have the logos for Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all those fun places, because people instantly recognize those, whereas they will see you write the text out. So if you write the word Facebook out, they'll see it, but it doesn't quite hit home the way the icons do. So if you have those icons there somewhere, especially if you can get the icons branded to your colors. So if you look at my website, you can actually see I tend to go with like a gold-based color for a lot of my businesses, and I've actually got those icons in gold. I did that myself. That was pretty graphic design that I worked on, and you can customize that to fit your brand as well. Or you can use them as the colors that the logos actually are, because people will recognize it that way, probably even a little bit better, but it doesn't go quite as well with your branding. So it really depends on what you want to do and what you have the option to do within your own design skills. But make sure you have those logos, those icons, and then link them to your social media frequently on your website, anywhere it makes sense, but at least top, bottom, and middle somewhere. Now, one more thing I do want to chat about with your website, another really, really, really important thing is going to be a publicity page. And not all businesses will have this, but you should be striving to get this on your website. A publicity page or a publicity section within your homepage is very important because it shows off where you've been shouted out. So if you've been on the local news, use that as a shout out on your website. If you have been in a newspaper, show it. If you've been in a magazine, show it. If you have been in an article on a major news station or a website or a blog or a YouTube video or whatever it happens to be, shout all these things out. Wherever you have been to represent your business, whether it be a written, a video, or an audio shout out, grab it and put it on your website. Use screen grabs. You can embed videos. You can write things out. I actually grab logos from places that I've been. So I have been on some of the major national news networks. I'll grab their logos and pop them on my website, and I'll do an as seen on section of my homepage. Now, typically for me, I don't actually build out publicity pages per se. If there's a lot of things, if I really want to show things off, I will. But typically, I just go with the logos. So if I were going to build it out, I would do that with the links to those articles or to those videos. I would actually show the content where I am. For me specifically, I tend to just put the logos up for as seen on. I don't necessarily spend a lot of time on my website showing where I have been because I am so present. If you are someone who does not get quite as much press as me, you may want to build out a separate page for your publicity so that they can see a newspaper clipping or a magazine cutout or a video or a live broadcast or wherever you happen to have been. You can also put up photos if you were at live events. If you did craft fairs or if you were speaking at a convention or a summit, put up those photos, put up those videos, show off what you've done so people can see that social proof that you are a leader in the industry and they should be trusting you and buying from you. So these are the most important parts of your business website: your homepage, your contact page, your about page, a checkout or a sales cart page, your social media links, your newsletter links, and a publicity or as seen on page. You want to make sure you have all of these ready to go. And I want you to stop what you're doing right now. And I want you to make a list of the things that you need to put on these pages. So start working out your content. Take an hour, take a few days, take a little bit of time, figure out your content. Because once you have that ready to go, like type everything up, have it in a Word doc, do spell check. For the love of all things good, please do a spell check. And make sure that you know what you want content-wise on these pages. If you can start grabbing graphics, if you can start grabbing photos and have them in a folder so you're ready to go, that's awesome. It's going to make your workflow so much easier when you are doing this. So right now, figure out your content, get that planned out, and let's jump into module 2, where we're actually talking about modern website layouts so that you don't end up with an old school looking website, which we definitely don't want. So I'll see you over in module 2. Let's get your website into the fantastic modern world.